Hello and welcome to my vlog. My name is Anton Januska and this is vlog 16, 016, which means that it's my 17th vlog. And today I'm gonna go over 3 weeks of retrospectives. It looks like I skipped out on my vlogging enough that I have a lot to make up. It's been really exciting. It's been interesting. I've learned a lot. Hopefully there is nothing in my notes that would make me have to restart this video, because I've been doing a lot of that recently. I'm also going to go over what I'm going to do this upcoming week, which is week 7. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So let's go ahead and get to it. I have to do a couple of things real quick. I should mention that I should probably start using my video editing software so that I don't have to do things like this where I have to take up time while I get things set up, but I'm gonna get to that eventually. So in week 3, I talked a lot about not being able to finish a video, focusing on one task instead of 2 every single week, and basically feeling overwhelmed in a lot of different ways. Hey, you know what? How about we start that webcam? There we go. Oh, it's stuck. Well, how about this? There we go. Okay, so now you can see me. Yeah, and so I kind of figured out a few things around it, and I wanted to share this with you. So I did week 4. In week 4, I decided to create this idea of primary and secondary goals. Primary goals always come first. If I get to finish them, then fine, I'm going to move on to a secondary goal. But a secondary goal really is there in case I finish the primary goal too quickly, relatively speaking. But I also wanted to have 2 different things to focus on in case I didn't want to do the primary goal. It's kind of like one of those things where, like, yeah, ideally I'm going to do this number 1 thing that's on my list, but in case that doesn't work out, I'm going to have this number 2 thing. For week 4, I decided to finish my CSS grid video that I talked about in my last vlog, and I did publish it and release it. I'm going to put a link in the description down below, and you can go watch it. I don't know how much success it actually was met with, because I haven't checked it much. I think it's got a couple hundred views. It got me banned from Reddit r web dev. I'm gonna say I'm not a big fan of that subreddit. For the past couple of years, the content has been kind of shoddy, and whenever I try to submit my own content, it kind of goes against the rules. So, you know, obviously that didn't really work out. Yeah, I haven't been a fan of it, and anyway, so I got a ban for that. That's okay. It's got 121 views. That's not a lot. That's actually so little that I'm surprised that it didn't do better. I have a big Twitter following. It didn't really do much. I put it on Reddit. I put it on Hacker News. On Reddit, it was starting to climb up the ranks, but then it got deleted and banned because I post too much of my own content on our web dev. And you know, granted, it goes against the rules, but it kind of sucks that that had to happen. So I did record it, I edited it, I published it. I was very happy with it. And then I started working on my secondary goal. I cleaned my office. It doesn't look like it now as much, but that's okay. The areas that you can't see are the areas where it actually got all changed and updated and cleaned out. So I'm very happy with being able to work on that. A couple things that I realized during this retrospective, and let's zoom in a little bit so that it's a little bit more visible, is that the primary versus secondary goals worked out really well. I'm very happy with it, and I just finished my 3rd week of doing primary and secondary goals. So it's pretty good, you know. The other thing is I realized that the less is more. The less tasks I have, the more I actually get done, and the better I feel about it. So if I had 15 tasks and finished 5 of them, I wouldn't feel too good about it. If I have 5 tasks and I finish all 5 of them, I feel great about it. But most likely what would happen is if I had 15 tasks, I would finish like 3, 4, and then feel really bad about the fact that I can't finish more, and I would feel overwhelmed, stressed out, and burnt out, and I'd probably like skip an entire week. And if I had 5 tasks, I'd most likely actually finish all of them and then feel ready for the next week. So I try to curb my want to do more by doing less, but still being able to get more accomplished. And that's been a huge lesson for me. It's a lesson that I learned it's a lesson I've learned here. I do it at work as well. You know, you kind of slow down, but at work it's a little bit different, so let's not talk about that. So in week 5, I had all these different ideas of what I wanted to do, and then I came up with a new section of my little sprint document to talk about considerations. For example, I had a Puckle Podcast blog post due. I didn't have a lot of sleep. I still had to do a lot of finance tasks because that's an ongoing project. That's not something that I can do every single week as a secondary or primary goal. That's just a part of my life now. And that's fine, and it works out. So what I had as an idea to what I planned out was a Habitica setup video. Habitica is a habit tracking website. You can see, I'll post a link on the bottom to it, and you can see it. So the first week, I messed up. I did a walkthrough of my entire setup, and I messed it up, and I deleted the videos by accident, and I couldn't recover them. This was hours and hours of work. I mean, I felt just really mad. I lost a lot of time that I don't have a lot of time to myself. I don't have a lot of time to do this stuff. So it was a big deal that you can hear my kids in the background. I'm taking a break. It's fine. It's fine. My wife and I switch out. Oh, she's calling for me. Anyway, so I did all of this, and you can see that I redid the tasks, I deleted my tasks, I did all this different stuff, and then I deleted my video, and I messed up another video that I was trying to do. It was devastating in some ways because it just turned me off from doing other things. One of the things I did accomplish, my secondary task, maybe I should have put that as my primary task because this one has had way more impact on my day-to-day life. I time track not only work, but my projects. I make sure that I work the 30 minutes, or I do my projects for the 30 minutes every night that I want to, so that I can feel good about the fact that, yes, I did spend time on this. Maybe I didn't make as much progress as I wanted to, but I did spend the time on it that I wanted to. And if I don't spend the time on it, then I can look at my graphs and see that, hey, I spent only 15 minutes a night for the past week. No wonder I didn't get everything done. But with my Habitica video, oh my god, that just sucked. I did have a retrospective. There was lots of context switching that led me to a lack of time tracking. So the first week was pretty rough with the time tracking. I sometimes forgot. Sometimes I got into a situation where it screwed up. I skipped an evening, and I'm like, oh my god, I skipped an evening. Now I have to log it back, but I can't really log it back because I don't remember when I spent how much time on what. It just sucked. Screwed up and destroyed most of my work for the week. Yeah, that's the Habitica video. Fuzzy mind. So because of sometimes my son keeps me up at night, I have kind of a fuzzy mind the next day. With enough coffee, I get through my work day, and that's fine. I can take care of my kids and stuff. But getting that extra additional 30 minutes of just being able to work on stuff for myself doesn't work. And the stress of my kids possibly waking up at night also kills my concentration. So I've noticed that when my son is teething, my daughter's going through something, whatever it is, and they don't sleep well, I just can't do anything. And I think it was in week 5 that I finally had a day and I said, I'm done. I can't. I'm done for the week. I have to take a few days off. I can't deal with this anymore. And I shared this with a habit tracking, or not a habit tracking, but like a positive habits Discord server that I'm a part of. And they said, take that day off and then get back on the horse. Take that day off. It's okay. It's okay to feel defeated. Take that day off. I had and I did that, and it worked out really well. I had an idea to learn one new thing every day and record it. I have lots of ideas. Let's not get stuck on that. So week 6, I just finished it, and this has been my most productive week yet, and I didn't get everything done, and that's okay. My considerations, I wanted to create this vlog. It's a continuation of week 5, and finances need help. I need to spend more time on my finances. So I decided to redo the entire Habitica video, and I did, and I published it, and it worked out fine. And I wanted to do 2 tasks for free code camp. I wanted to get back into coding, doing these code exercises. And I got stuck on Wikipedia Viewer because, well, there were some issues with the API, and it got me stuck for a couple nights. If I didn't get stuck, I think I'd be done with that task, so I don't feel too bad about it. A few things that I found out throughout that week was that one of the things that I'd like to do is do 2 week-long sprints. So I want to do week-long sprints but I want to also look at tasks and say, maybe I want to carry this over to the next week. I don't want to do it automatically, but sometimes I would think to myself and look at it, you know what, I'm just going to spend that extra time to finish it. So for example, Free Code Camp, I'm going to do that next week. I want to finish the twitch.tv JSON API project for Free Code Camp. I just want to get it done. And when I started the Free Code Camp project, I also realized that, like, yes, the Helvetica video is going to take me most of my time, and I will be in that situation where I'm going to have to decide if I want to keep going or not. I most likely won't finish FCC. And to my surprise, I almost did, but, you know, I didn't. So I'm going to be carrying that over the next week. And I'm pretty happy with this 2-week-long arrangement. I don't pick 2 tasks for 2 weeks. I just pick that one of the 2 tasks I do for a week, I extend for a week. It's a little bit confusing. A few things that I realized during this week was that coding isn't as much fun anymore. It really isn't. Fun, I mean, coding outside of work isn't as much fun anymore. There are a lot of changes that happen at my work over the past 6 months that made my job very fulfilling on the coding front. I do a lot of vanilla JavaScript, I do a lot of TypeScript, I do a lot of Angular 2 or Angular, whatever you want to call it. I do a lot of DevOps, I do a lot of server work, I do all the things that I want to do. So taking the time out to work on Free Code Camp felt a little bit weird because I was basically working on. I didn't really want to work on these projects. First of all, I just want to get through them so I can keep going through Free Code Camp. But the other part was the fact that it's not as exciting because I'm not stuck in a job that I need to get out of, right? I would say that before, a couple of years back, when I was working on the project I'm currently working on, it was very grueling, it was very stressful. There was a lot of stuff that I had to get through work-wise. It was the same job, but it was at an earlier stage of the company. There was a lot of responsibilities on me, and that took the fun out of coding, out of certain parts of the code, and that made my coding in free time way more fun. That's not happening anymore. The other thing that I realized is that taking on too much, even if I know that I can drop it, it feels stressful. So if I had those 15 tasks that I talked about, I'm still recording, cool. And I knew that I could drop 10 of them at the snap of a finger, it would still be just as stressful because it's still on my plate. Now, if I had a queue of tasks, that would still be stressful. If I have 5 tasks that I have to get done, like here, and I got those done, usually what happens is that I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have no idea. And I don't know what to reach for. And so it's confusing. So there's a balance between not having enough. If I don't have enough tasks, I get basically into a situation where, well, I don't know what to do with my time. If I have too many tasks, it becomes stressful. And so it's a lot to balance. The other thing I realized is that I needed a day off. And I took a day off yesterday. I took a day off yesterday. So instead of trying to rush and finish the Twitch TV project, I went to sleep early and I said, you know, to hell with my projects. And it was great. And I needed that day off. I can't work on my projects and on stuff every single day. The other thing I realized is that it's kind of weird, but I hate the term adulting. But I don't know exactly how to phrase it. What I'm talking about is like real life responsibilities that have less to do with coding, less to do with personal projects, and more to do with stuff and responsibilities I have in my life outside of work and fun, right? For example, I need to schedule repairs for my air conditioner. Well, I haven't called them, and I meant to call them on Friday, and I didn't. And I did take the time to work on my Free Code Camp project. So I kind of threw a very important thing to the side that I shouldn't have. And that's going to be my focus of week 7. So week 6, top-notch week. Perfect week. It was great. It was wonderful. And I hope that my next week goes the same way. So I actually haven't started on week 7. So I'd like to actually do this with all of you. I'm going to move my keyboard a little bit further away and try to type quietly. And we're going to go ahead and try to do this. Ideas, considerations, and plan. So right off the bat, I know I have a consideration of having to I have a Puckle blog post that's due. My ideas are adulting, That's such a horrible term. If you have a better idea of like what to call that, let me know in the comments. We have adulting, we have free code camp, continue. Another thing I wanted to do was having just a gaming week. So it's kind of a little bit of a week that's off, but not entirely. And I had one more idea, and that was NaNoWriMo editing. And this is one that you'll see pretty much on every single week, right? Nano 2014. Oh god, I really wanted to get this done as well, so I'm going to put this in here as an idea. NaNoWriMo 2014. And I don't have NaNoWriMo 2014 there. So what I'm probably going to pick is just these two, and I don't think I have any other considerations. So let's just write out some tasks that I'm going to have to do for adulting. Schedule repairs for AC. My windshield broke. Schedule repairs. Windshield. Repair toilet. I have a lot of things that need to be repaired. That's actually what's been happening. My things in my house, not in my house, but the AC is not actually broken, so that's a positive thing. It's that the way I had a new part installed last year, and it wasn't installed correctly, so it got reinstalled, and I don't think it was reinstalled correctly, so that caused some issues. It just needs to be adjusted. It's not really repairs, I guess maintenance. That's what I need to do. So I'm going to rewrite that schedule maintenance. I also have to contact HOA about a new payment method. My HOA fees went up. No, I'm not going to say I hate HOA. I have some issues with HOA, mainly how their payment system works. I had to order a brand new set of checks just so I can send them a void copy of my check, just so they can do direct deposit. It's ridiculous. I am so every single month, ever since they increased our fees, I've been underpaying because I had a payment set up earlier. Sorry, not earlier, but I had a payment set up for the old amount. And once in a while, I send in a bigger check that basically pays the difference. But now they're starting to tell me that, like, hey, we're going to have to actually charge you fees for paying this stuff later. I'm like, you suck. So I'm not happy about it. All right. So what's been going on? So what I'm going to go ahead and do is those four things. And I'm trying to think if there's anything adulting-wise that I need to finish up. Why can't I think of stuff? Why can't I think about that? Why can't I? I wanted to start on taxes. Ooh, start on taxes. Okay, so that's a pretty busy week. It looks like a busy week, rather. But scheduling maintenance for AC, that's a 10-minute phone call. Scheduling repairs for windshield, it's a 15-minute phone call. Repairing toilet, that's a 30-minute affair, but it has to be done. Contacting my HOA, that's 15 minutes. You know, it's small tasks. They just add up, and I don't do them over time, and I forget them. I'm a little bit, I'm gonna put optional, like an optional tag. I did say that if I have the ability to drop it, it doesn't help, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to starting on taxes. I feel like that's a big project, so we'll see. Maybe I'll make that my goal for next week. But I think this is what I'm gonna go ahead and do in week 7. Hopefully in a few weeks I'm gonna come back and talk about how it all went. I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to share. I'm not going to share my Stardew Valley farm again. I know that I like doing it, but it's not... I don't want to do it anymore. I kind of want to do some gaming. I really... We'll see. If I have enough free time and I have a good enough momentum with my adulting tasks and good enough momentum with the Twitch TV project, which sounds and looks pretty easy. The issues that I had with the Wikipedia project have already been directly addressed in the project setup. You know, telling you that, hey, here's the API endpoint, so you don't have to search for it, and here it is, so it works. You know, no matter where you run this code. So maybe this was going to be a very quick project. We'll see how that goes. We will see. But that's it so far. I don't really have anything else to share. This is a pretty quick vlog, not too bad. I'm gonna try to upload it as soon as I... Is it snowing? No, it's not. I'm gonna try to upload it as soon as I'm done with recording. But you know, follow me, subscribe to me, like my video, post a comment about what you think about my vlogs. I would appreciate all of it. Let's look at my beautiful face again. Oh, well, that's not working. I've noticed in OBS, the Open Broadcasting Software, when I switch the scenes, if I have webcam on both scenes, it's not going to work correctly. This is perfect lighting. It's like evening-ish. I like this. Cool. Anyway, thanks.